biggest struggle, like I said, being an independent artist, in your opinion?
No matter how talented you are, it's still a politic-driven game. So every single day I'm competing against huge record labels and clout and the persona of fame and stuff like that. I'm not just competing against other people who do music. I'm competing against all the other stuff that blind people's psyche about certain people. So, like I remember when I was in high school, I told one of my friends, um, well, Rich Homie Quan had just dropped a mixtape called "I Would Never Stop Going In." I think that's what it was called, and to me, it ain't really sound that good. Like I fuck with Rich Homie Quan, shout out to him, but that mixtape didn't really sound that good to me. So I told my friend, I can rap better than him, but he was so blinded by the fact that Rich Homie was about to blow up that he couldn't even fathom the idea of somebody who was not on the same stature as him being a more talented artist than him.
Yeah.
So that nostalgia is something that you are fighting against every single day. So with me, it's a blessing and a curse, because when you're independent, you get to do whatever you want to, but the price tag of that is sometimes what you want to do can fall on deaf ears. And when you're a major artist, you kind of don't get to do what you want to, but the catch-22 to that is that it goes out to the masses. So it's like it's a pick your poison kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like you were saying, it's like you as an independent, you're battling against labels who have full teams, full machines, full powerhouses, social media teams,
everything. Yep.
All right, so we talked about the biggest struggle, and you mentioned about the biggest blessing.
Yeah. Well,
being,
let me do a little bit more on that being a blessing.
Okay.
It's like a 21st century thing. Now everybody, including yourself, got to learn how to promote yourself. You got to learn how to build your own company, so that even when you partner with somebody else, you're still a solo entity within that entity. So that even if you guys decide to part ways, you still have your own branch that can function without that.
Yep.
So that's the beautiful thing about coming in as an indie artist rather than me just jumping into the industry. I have friends where they are signed to big labels, and I ask them like, yo, you trying to do this, you trying to do that? They be like, well, I got to ask, or I need permission to do it, or I got to clear. Yeah, and some of them really don't even know how. Like, they don't know how to book studio time, they don't know how to mix themselves, they don't know how to do anything without their team being there. So that was one of the huge blessings about me coming in as an indie artist.
Yeah, and like you said with the labels, it's weird, because we got an artist back home, he paid for, it was about a year ago before Lil Baby popped off. I mean, he's been popping, but he paid for a Lil Baby feature, and then the label wouldn't release it.
They blocked it.
Yeah,
so he paid the money.
He paid the money.
And they never put the song out.
Nope.
Man.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's like you said, it's that gift and the curse of even shopping with them sometimes. It's kind of like you have to go at the terms that the artist is under. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do a feature and expect it to drop the next day, because it doesn't work like that.
Yep.
It's amazing. All right, so let's talk about new music. You got any new projects in the works right now?
Yeah, I've been recording an album called Flawless Victory since I was 19.
Gotcha.
And I plan on releasing it when my new animation film comes out. I'm doing the soundtrack, so most of my album will be on the soundtrack, just like Beyonce did with The Lion King.
That's hard. So I can tell you guys, like I said, you think bigger than the music. It's about the music, but it's about the branding to bring more eyes into the music. And that's very smart. How many tracks you planning on having on that? A little bit more information about the project.
Maybe, to be honest, I never have a track list. I always, when it's time, that's just when it's time. Like, there's no cutoff. So, I don't know, however many the CD can fit. Like, when it hits capacity, then that's when I'll be done. Yeah.
You got any features you planning on there?
Yeah, I have a feature with Malachi Warner from Motown Records.
Okay.
I have features with Never Felon. He actually just got verified on Instagram, so shout out my boy Never Felon. And hopefully I can get a couple of honorable C-note beats on it before it's time to finalize the project. I know I could easily just ask, but that ain't my thing. Like, I'm cool with asking people that I never met more than I am with asking people that I know, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
So yeah, those are gonna be some hopeful things. And I plan on finalizing it when I do transfer over to mainstream. So hopefully I'll have some more features. Like, I have a song that I'm waiting on that I want Jasmine Sullivan on, and I have another one that I want Jacquees on. So these are like some things that are going to be done in the future. They're already done, but they're going to be finalized in the future.
Right. Just ain't caught up yet.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So now I want to talk about city support towards your music career. We can talk about Atlanta basically. Do you feel like you have a lot of support towards your career?
One thing I learned about being in the industry is that there can be 20 people sitting at this table. All 20 of them be friends with each other, and only 10 of them know who you are, and only 5 of them present you with an opportunity. So it'd be hard to differentiate this entire table with the few people or the people who have decided to reach out or accept the invitation or anything like that. So since I've lived in Ohio, Michigan, and Atlanta, and I've been to like 10 different schools. I have a very diverse fan base. With being an acting, modeling, shoes, clothing, all of that stuff. So I never really know where my fan base derives from, but I do know that the people who do support me, it has been a strong and consistent support from the entire time. Like I've never really had anybody like turn their back on me to where I could like feel it. But the people who play the politic game are not friends or in support of me because I don't.
Gotcha.
So I just did an interview with This Is 50. It was either yesterday or the day before, and I was shocked the entire time that not only did this guy know who I was, but he was gracious enough to present somebody that's living in Atlanta with a New York interview. So, you know, it's one of the things where it's hard to call.
Yeah.
But when I know, I know. And I can't blame who doesn't know me on their lack of support. I can only do it when I know that you are aware fully of who I am and what you actually present to help.
All right, so you never know. There's so much to support as well.
Yeah.
So like you said, it goes back to the 20 people at the table. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can only push so many things at one time. And something has to take a back seat to something. So
yeah.
It's kind of like, that's why the way you're doing it, you pick up fans from acting, you pick up fans from this, and it's like, it makes a kind of like 50. He don't know where it is, but he knows he has a base.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He has a base of people tuning in from acting, music, whatever.
Yep.
So that's dope. That's a good strategy, marketing strategy.
Thank you.
And speaking on that, do you feel like an artist has to be accepted and supported by their hometown to become successful?
No.
Gotcha.
No. There's a few key elements to becoming successful, and the first thing about success is it being something that you define yourself as to what successful is. Because it's some artists who just like living an everyday life where they can still go to Walmart, create music, still work their 9 to 5. To them, that's success to them. And as long as you're happy, that's really all that matters. And it's some people like myself. I have a very infinite mind to where I just everything I see, I want to buy it. Everything, I just want the best of everything. I have such an infinite mind that where I'm just like, okay, when I buy my loft, I'm not gonna want it no more. When I buy my mansion, I'm not gonna want it no more. When I get a Maserati, I'm not gonna want it no more. Like, and I continue to fight that battle every day. And it's not that it's a materialistic thing. It's just a thing of knowing that my worth is so high that I can afford the things that I've always dreamed of.
And your drive, everybody's not going to chase it like that.
Right.
So you know, if you want something, you're going to go get it.
I'm going to go get it, every single time.
Right.
Yeah.